Hello everyone, welcome back to another daily Marvel Snap live stream. So today we are doing an extension of our video from this morning, our Negative Ronan list. So we are going to be using Sandman, we have a couple of kind of tech cards in here that we can use strategically against certain matchups. So like the Sandman is not going to be a card that is dropped or should be dropped in every single matchup, but if you're going up against a zoo or something that floods the board with a lot of cards, then Sandman is oftentimes going to help you out, and then you have some powerful cards to drop of your inverse cards as well. And so while we are waiting for everybody to jump in, let's go ahead and erase that abysmal negative 15 from yesterday's stream, and we are starting out with a clean slate today. We will see if we go with the three-peat negative 15 cubes, but we are going to go ahead and jump in and see what we can do today. And then as you guys that are watching this after it was live, thank you guys so much for coming in and checking out the content. Those of you that are jumping in or starting to jump in live, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I thank you guys for joining us live. So we are going to pass on turn one. The only card that we have in this list to really drop on one is Sunspot, but that's going to be pretty rare when we're able to. Hey Nicolay, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. So we are gonna ramp on turn two to allow us to drop our. Oh, we don't even have to ramp actually, do we? Hey Pilk, how's it going? Thank you so much for jumping in and joining us live. So we are gonna use our Psylocke to ramp into what would be 4 energy on turn 3, but with, hey, the notifications went through, or did they shoot that in the Discord? Hey, Skeptical Squirrel, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. Kevin, me too. I don't know if we can handle 3 days at negative 15 each time. So we are going to drop our, actually, it would have been fine to drop our Mr. Negative in Gamma Lab. Ralph, lunchtime stream. Yep, it is time for the lunchtime stream. I know for a lot of our viewers, it is pretty late, actually. So it's a bedtime stream for them. Ooh, and the Infinite pool here is pretty rough. Nope, working 1 more hour, but you'll get me through. Oh, thanks so much. I hope I make it go by pretty quickly. I hope we have some pretty good cube gains to kind of help out with that as well. And so we don't have anything to really deal with really high power cards. So it may be that we try to compete for Gamma Lab and Superflow. The stream is Dr. Doomed. Hey Doma, how's it going? Just want to stop in and say hi because I can't sleep when I got to wake up early tomorrow. I hope that you're able to catch some sleep, Doma. And then I hope that you have a good rest of your night. So we could do the Iron Man and then have a second Iron Man in our Mystique and push it over potentially with our Arnim Zola here. But I think we just go with actually, we'll go with Iron Man into Gamma Lab. We're going to hold Mystique for now. Since we can drop her at the start of next turn, there's no really rush to drop her into Superflow. And that way we'll get 1 additional energy for the next turn. Didn't see anything on Discord, just got them from YouTube. Okay, perfect. Oh, no. So they would have countered our Iron Man with their our Mystique with their Cosmo. Good night, Doma. I hope that you're able to catch some sleep, and I hope you have a good rest of the evening. And so for us to be able, I think this one is probably going to end up being a loss, because we can do our Mystique. We can't do Mystique in Superflow because our own availability. Hey, Jairus, thank you so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. We can do her here, and this may be our best shot. Do we go with Sunspot as well to push a little power? Seems like a loss. Yeah, most likely. As long as they don't snap, we're going to play it out and try to get a feel for it. But we could also go with Ronan, but that would encourage them to kind of flood their cards onto the board next turn. Let's start the stream with a loss. we're going to try not to. We're definitely going to try not to, but if it happens, it happens. So I think we're going to do Ronan instead of the Sunspot.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
Oh my gosh, Todd English. Is that another 20 or did that just come through today?
I am.
Alexander, so it looks like you got timed out by the Nightbot. So we did add Nightbot in the last couple of days, and so it is today, isn't it, Cammy? Did that come through today? Thank you so much, Todd. Your support is so much appreciated. You came in with a huge 20 the other day, and then now another incredible 20. So we are starting the stream off. I think that positive vibe that you sent our way is enough that we did not start the stream negative. We took what looked like was going to be a loss, and we were able to make it into a positive gain. And so I can't thank you so much, Todd. I'm at a loss for words. That's so very generous of you. Thank you so much. I got Hella today. What deck for her? So it's a Hella deck, Corin. So it runs about 3 or 4 discard units and then a lot of big units, so that you can resummon them. If you have Invisible Woman, she's great for a Hella deck as well. Mr. Positive, we are positive. We can end the stream on a positive note if we end right here, right now. No negative 15 cubes for us today.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
Oh, so we're gonna be we're gonna be seeing the gifted members come in. So you're gonna hear you're gonna hear my Wong joke about 20 times this stream. So I hope you guys buckle in and get ready for it. We don't have anything that we can play this turn. Oh no, it's Onan the self-abuser. Thank you so much, Axel, for subscribing to us on YouTube. Not spamming this time. Not spamming this time. I may need to loosen up the Nightbot's I guess timeout or those features, because it looks like a couple of people are getting timed out when maybe they shouldn't. But hey, DaddyGamingNightly, thank you so much for jumping in and joining us for the live stream. I hope you're having a great day so far. We are positive. As you can see, we are a +1 today. So that's something that I don't know that we hit yesterday.
Welcome. It took you long enough.
And then, if you
welcome. It took you long enough.
Thank you so much, Harry and Akshay, which I think those are probably the gifted. And I'm not going to call all of them out because we're going to be having those come through for pretty much the majority of the stream. But if you do sign up for membership outside of the gifted, let me know so that I can make sure to call it out. But thank you so much again, Todd. And then, hey, young Chris, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. And then where's Pilk? He's here. He's in the chat somewhere. True, the TLSG best snap channel right now. Thank you so much, Cammy. That means so very much. We try our very best to keep a variety of content, and especially now that we all good best snap channel on YouTube. I hope all 20 go out today. Yeah, and so hopefully they will go out throughout the entire stream. That way everyone here can stop and appreciate it. But Cammy and Todd, that means so much because we do have a lot of other content creators, a lot of good content creators out there, and so your support and encouragement is just so it means so much. Thank you guys so much. So here, they're running Venom, so they're running like a Deadpool style deck. Do we want to limit them with Sandman? We could limit them with Sandman, but I don't know that that's necessarily the play. We could do a Devil Dino. So I think they play Wave next turn, right? And if that's the case, we definitely want to push our power out onto the board this turn with our inverted cards. And I think Devil Dino is going to be a little bit better than our Iron Man because we don't have any power anywhere else on the board just yet. Todd English, if you're here, thank you so much for the subs. Yeah, I think he's still hanging around. But yes, definitely, thank you so much. And then, hey Elmo, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. And then we have all of the new. Be right back. Be right back in 20 to 30 minutes. Don't go negative yet. I'm going to try not to go negative at all this stream. We're going to try and... TLSG is the crip of Snap, and I'm totally here for it. Thank you so much, Corey. Oh my... You guys are amazing. So they didn't use Wave, but we do have a lead in both of our lanes. They used Venom, they used Carnage. The only other destruction card that they might have would be Deathlock. I think it's worth...
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then Sisongor. Thank you so much for either getting gifted or gifting or joining us as a channel member. You now have access to all of the emotes. And so what TLSG is a streamer. Hey, Loot Muncher. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for jumping in and joining us today. So I have a hard time finding very much time to do it. So what we've been doing is focusing on a lunch stream each day. So I work from home right now. So during each of our lunch periods, we've been streaming for about an hour. So thank you so much for jumping in and joining us, Loot Muncher. You do the Cube Rush community events, right? I would love to be, if it fits within your schedule or mine, I would love to be involved in one of those at some point. Some of our stream viewers have asked about it, and it always looks so much fun. And I like I guess the sense of community that you're creating from something that we don't even have those established modes yet. And so it's really incredible what you're doing. Mice, hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. Oh, was that? How many cubes was that? Keep me honest, guys. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy thinking about Cube Rush. Was that 2? Gallagher Gal, I missed what you said. That Iron Man Mystique is looking delicious, though. Yeah, the leader can kind of help future-proof ourselves as well, and make sure that we don't have any kind of they don't have any kind of like enchantress that may end up like stealing some of our like really high power cards. And so we are +5 for the day so far. We had a +1 before, Andrew, and then Snake and Jedi. Thank you so much. Definitely DM me on Discord sometime. We will definitely try to get you in there. That'd be perfect. I know most of my so we discard our Mr. Negative. I think unless they snap, I think we tried to try this one out anyways. And so Loot Muncher, I'll definitely shoot you a DM, and then we can kind of work out some details. I don't know if we'll be able to make it work, but I'd love to try to anyways. I am Asurio from Twitch. Oh, thank you so much for being and joining us over here as well. And so I hope you enjoy your emotes. Are you going to watch the India versus Pakistan cricket match? So I really haven't ever watched much cricket. I know like a general premise of it, but I haven't kept up with much of it. Umais. Do bot plays count in Cube Rush? Oh, and so actually I don't know that one as much. I'm not incredibly versed in the rules. Loot Muncher would be perfect, but I think they do, and so I think there's a definitely a weird range. If
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then Todd English coming back in, another one going out. So thank you again, Todd. I'll join the Cube Rush.
Welcome. It took you long enough.
Whoever loses the most cubes wins. The last couple of live streams we did. Yeah, Daddy Gaming, you may have jumped in a little bit late, but Todd English donated another massive 20 subs for the stream, and so they're going to be going off throughout the stream. I don't know why, but YouTube, it takes a while for them to go through, but it was absolutely huge. And so with the bots counting, I think it puts it a little bit weird. The lower you are, or maybe even the higher you are in rank where you're facing those, if you have a good deck against bots, it creates some strange and unique strategy possibilities. So I don't think we lose this one after we lost Mr. Negative. They did snap, so whatever they have is going to be somewhat decent. We do have a leader to come in on the last turn though, and so maybe we hope for the best. We're gonna try it out. We have a few cubes to spare today. We are Mr. Positive today, at least for now, until we let these things gamble. And then the Enchantress turns over, so never mind. Never mind. We're not going to be Mr. Positive, I don't think. Because whatever they dropped here, if it's more than 4 power, means that we would not be able to swing the win. And actually, they win by 10 here. So we're gonna cap it at 2. We should have capped it at a -1, but we wanted to see that last turn to see if we were in a strategic spot for leader. But it wasn't a good play, and we don't match up against Betten very often. But every time we do, he's a pretty good matchup. It's usually a pretty tough match. Hey, how's it going? I'm really sorry. I don't know how to read your name. If I did, I would call you out. But thank you so much for jumping in and joining us live. I hope you're having a great day so far. I'm at collection log 1K. The bots are super OP. So it depends on your strategy, Umais. I know that on the lower collection log, you can really trick them quite a bit with like an Infinite. So like skipping turn 5 into an Infinite does a lot. At least on Sulky Hulky, that's what we were finding. We were able to get to rank 90 last season just with just a patchwork pull 2 deck. And so we're going to go ahead and play our Sunspot. It's not a perfect system, but we're always working on the rules. Yeah, I definitely, the earlier season cube rushes, usually less boss. Yeah, definitely. I could see that. And then it is something that's, I mean, as you get feedback, it's something that continually grows. And so I think the biggest thing is that you're doing something and something is going on. It's not going to be perfect right off the bat, but it will get better over time, like you said. So we were going to drop our Mr. Negative, but we don't want to give them better cards. Because if we invert, then we are going to give them all of the inverted cards. And so instead, we're just going to play our Devil Dino. We're going to play what we end up drawing into. So that we don't give them the upside of having those, like the inverted Iron Man, the inverted Mystique, that they could potentially draw into. If only a membership were available in your region. Umais, I'm so sorry. Hopefully it does come through for you at some point or some point soon, become an option. Nico, big fan of the stream and channel. Thank you so much. Greetings from Germany. I hope you're having a great day so far. What time is it for you over in Germany? And so we're not going to play the Lady Sif. We're gonna wait it out. It may be that we end up doing an Arnhem Zola on turn 6 to duplicate either our Hulk or our Devil Dino into the other lanes. That may be enough to win it for us, especially if they're going to have a kind of a patchwork or piece together deck from drawing from ours from Weird World. I use Red Skull Shang-Chi, works good against the bots. And it depends on what collection log you're at. And so, oh, it's around 5 p.m. there? So that's not too incredibly late. I know a lot of our viewers, it's like 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m. So it's really early or late for them. So we're going to drop our Korg because we do have to... actually, is it worth it? Dropping our Korg, No, we're not going to drop the Korg because we would send rocks into their deck, which we would have the potential to draw. We keep the 2 upside in Devil Dino. We keep the 2 upside in Sunspot. So it doesn't make sense for us to drop Korg here. I'm actually using the leader deck that Kawatek was using in the Cube Rush. It's quite fun. Yeah, so I saw the video. I haven't checked out the deck list though. Pilk, is it definitely something that's worth running? And so here they don't have a lot of resources. Okay, yeah.
Victory.
With the cards that we were sending them, I guess they didn't draw into any like great pieces. And so we were going to be able to push power into both the left and right lane. And luckily we had the Sunspot that was able to kind of retain some of those passes and grow in power over time. So we are back up to a positive 4 cubes. The goal is to regain all 30 that we lost over the last couple of days. I don't think we will. I don't think we'll make it, but we'll give it a shot. I'd recommend it for a video or just to use. And so I'll check it out after this, after the stream, Pilk. What are your thoughts on Galactus? I think he's going to be fun, but if he's ever fully released, I think we're going to have to really rethink our deck builds. So it's not just me burning cubes. Oh, a Stone Donkey. Yesterday I burned through, I dropped down to like from, I ranged anywhere from 85 to like 78, trying out different decks, and just maybe I was on tilt a little bit, but yeah, no, I was burning a lot of cubes. I was donating them left and right. And then for Galactus, so I think it'd be cool to have a deck with like Goblin, Wave, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, and then Wave to cheat it out earlier, and then maybe some high power cards. But if he's ever fully released, that adds an entirely different element.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then another couple of gifted came through from Todd, and so thank you again. But Galactus solely for the animation. But we'll have to completely rethink the way we build our decks.
Welcome. It took you long enough.
Because if he's released, that gives so much power potential. If there is an empty lane, then we have to be really, really cautious. And then even if, let's say, there is something like...
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
A couple more coming in. Thank you so much, Silver Fox, for the follow.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
A lot of those, the member ones are coming through all of a sudden. But with Galactus, even with like squirrels that get put onto the board, you could have a Killmonger that you tech in to be able to clear up at least one of those lanes. So it'd be fun for a while, but I think it could also be frustrating for opponents to play against. Harry, believe yourself, you're anticipating good. So right now, was that a morph? That had to be a morph, right? Morphed into an Arnim Zola? I laugh every time the Wong pun pops up. I giggled to myself for way too long whenever I made that. And then Tetra, why Sandman though? Isn't the deck about making your cards cheap so you can play more of them? To an extent, yes. There are still some matchups that it's more beneficial for us to go Sandman versus maybe even Mr. Negative. Or we can have a Sunspot, we can invert our cards, we can then play the 0 cost cards as our 1 drop, and then they can only play 1 card, and so then we're still gaining the power in Sunspot. So the opponent can't dump their hand, and Ronan is bigger. Yep, that as well. Thank you so much, Yate. What incoming card will get released? Daddy Gaming, I don't know. People have been thinking about She-Hulk with the release of the show. That may be something that's like on the horizon, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. I thought She-Hulk was going to be last season, and then they surprised us with Daredevil, and so I guess we'll all be in the waiting room together to see. So I think we do our Ronin, and then I think we also do our Sandman here. And then we can always do an Arnim Zola to push Ronin here and here on that last turn. And then they're going to be limited to 1 card. Maybe we Arnim Zola here, potentially hit the Hobgoblin and send it to him here and here. Or if we hit the Sunspot, we duplicate it here and here, which is okay as well. Or we have Mystique, which would let our... Okay. Never mind. We don't have to think about it too hard. We're getting a lot more retreats today, guys. So we don't have to fully think through our plays to figure out what the best or most strategic one is going to be. I think this one, probably the Ronin would have been best. But I also like the potential interaction of sending them 2 Hobgoblins in both mid and right lane. And then how about Thanos? Thanos, I'm excited. I think he's going to be really hard to build around. With how many of those get shuffled into your deck and how like junk like board clogging works, I think it'll be a little bit difficult to build around, but I think it'll be fun to see what kind of deck archetypes exist from those. And then you're waiting for Loki. How many reserves on average did you guys need to pull for a card? Because I think my luck is really bad. For me, most of my leveling was before they made the reserve update, and so mine was skewed. Are the Infinity Stones 0 cost? I believe they're 1 cost, at least right now. But if you do a Quinjet in your deck, you should be able to make them 0 cost cards. And so I think Quinjet will see a lot of play in Thanos deck lists. And then I don't know how that would work with Jane Foster, DaddyGamingNightly. I don't know if you have the Quinjet, if while it's in your deck it's 0, or if whenever you draw it, it goes to 0. I think most likely it's the latter, where when you draw it is when it reduces its cost to 0. She-Hulk next season, I think they usually go with the MCU and Disney Plus releases, like the Thor event. Yeah, and I think they're wanting to come up with their new monetization model sometime soon. I guess they're just having trouble like finding one that feels like a good fit and that feels like it's going to be fair. And then yeah, Pilk, you can go up to 9 reserves before you draw a card. In Asurio, so when you draw it, yeah, that would make the most sense. But I've seen some nutty things, like with Gamma Lab, you push a Human Torch over there and you get a 22 power Hulk. So we've definitely seen some pretty nutty things. All they've dropped is their Sunspot, so I don't think we rush a Sandman. Sandman's not going to be good in every single matchup, but he's more of a tech card. I think we use our Jubilee to try and pull into our Mr. Negative. Clarice walked out. Yeah, she kind of roams around a little bit, but ooh, and the Rogue is kind of rough. But what happens when you Mr. Negative a Hobgoblin? It becomes a 0 cost 5 power card that you send over into the opponent's lane. And so yeah, it seems like something that would be cool, but in reality, it doesn't work too incredibly well. And we do have Iron Man that we can throw. I think maybe we throw Iron Man here. Depending on where they drop their cards, we can do a leader play into the Crimson Cosmos next turn to make sure that we keep up in power. And that's if they play here.
Opponent snapped.
But I don't think it's worth putting our Iron Man here necessarily. I think we're going to go with the guaranteed Iron Man in Nidavellir. If we leader this lane and they do use an Iron Man, we could potentially lose in Nidavellir. Ooh, never mind. We can't play anything. Oh, so the Professor X was huge there. We are going to go with the 2-cube retreat. They snapped just before that, knowing that after that went off, and if it was successful, we would retreat. So we're going to lock in the 2-cube loss, and then we'll keep going. What nerf do you think Mr. Negative would get? It's almost in every deck right now. I don't know. Mr. Negative is such a unique effect that I hope that whenever they do balance him, they don't go the path of Nakia, where all of a sudden she's not in any list. What's with the Jubilee rarity? Is it still common? I have so many common cards, and it takes so long to upgrade them now that I've just been leaving them at common. Same thing with our Sandman. We have plenty of boosters. And credits. We have over 5,000 right now. We just haven't spent the time to really sit down and upgrade the cards. I'll show you how many commons I have after this match. Yeah, that Professor X variant is a really good one. We don't have any Professor X variants, I don't think, on either of our accounts. But that one is definitely in the probably top 2. I like the kind of animated one with the big professor with the big head. We're going to go with the Sunspot here. Austin, I think they don't nerf Negative, but can add 1 power to some 0 power cards. I think it's really tricky balancing Mr. Negative. And then, like, whenever you balance the other cards as a result, it gets tricky if you're balancing cards specifically so that they're not as good in one particular archetype. It's really tough. I'm interested to see how the devs do it more of on a long-term thing as we get more cards released into the game. So I think we play our Ronin into Hellfire Club. They are running no. They're running a discard style deck list. I don't think our Ronin is great for us, but I don't think Sandman is either. And in a discard deck list, Leader's not great either. Because if they do a Dracula, they don't actually play the Apocalypse. Nakia ain't balancing. It's a nerf. Yeah, it was an absolute. They nerfed her to the ground, at least for now. Hopefully they kind of bring it back a little bit, but it seems really, really restrictive. Hey, Brogenito, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. How do you turn your cards black and white? Black and white cards are a bot-only variant. Corey, what about making Mr. Negative hit your hand instead of deck? That'd be I think that'd be really strong as well, because then you have that immediate impact. You could have, hey Logic, thank you so much for the follow. You could have your Iron Man, your Arnim Zola, your Jubilee all in hand, and then let's say we dropped a Mr. Negative. All of a sudden, that next turn, we have an insane power push. So I don't know that that would be the answer either, Corey. By the way, how can you get 2 accounts in the closed beta? Once you have the app downloaded, you can just create another Google account. Once you have the app, you don't have to be invited into the other one. To make purchases, you do. But we just create another Google or Gmail account and we can log in like that. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, no. I was too busy chatting with you guys. Okay, so they're going to be discarding our Ronan. This is probably going to end up being a retreat because they're going to discard pretty much all of their cards. Our Ronan's not going to be incredibly strong. But they haven't snapped yet, so it's not like we need to absolutely rush out either. Seeing as how Iron Man is in my starting hand 90% of the time, a negative shows up on turn 5. Yeah, that'd be amazing. What's the next card that you unlock, everyone? What cards are you missing? What big cards are you missing? Pilk. You have leader now, right? If you don't have Mystique, I hope you end up pulling Mystique. So for the final turn, they end up dumping their hand. We could do a leader, but I don't think that protects us in this scenario because then all we have is 4. I don't know that it's even worth the risk here. Our leader is going to copy their swarms, but their hand size is going to be next to nothing. And since they come in with the snap there, we'll go ahead and retreat and reset. You don't need to be in the beta to buy things. It's just much harder. I'm sure there are ways around it, but it's definitely much easier if you were in the beta. Seeing as how Iron Man... Oh, wait. I already read that one. So Burgento, they need to take Nakia down to 2 cost to balance her. Either that or hit more cards. So right now it's in line with an Ironheart, except for you still have to drop those cards later. Oh, no, Jeremiah, or aka Soul Knife. We have the ramp into Mr. Negative. I'm so sorry. And so they snap back. We do have the good start, at least. I feel bad, but the last time I didn't snap whenever I had like a good combo on turn 1. They ended up drawing into hell at the end of the game and we lost because of it. And so I want to push the advantage where we can. Jubilee the 6 split. We've split Jubilee I think 6 times. We ran her a whole lot before they nerfed the way she worked with a Chavez. And so Chavez and Jubilee, we have so many splits. And I forgot to show you guys the comments. I'll do it after this one, I promise. I won't forget. TLSG, I forgot to tell you, I pulled Mystique, Mysterio, and Ghost Rider back to back. Been having so much fun with the Mystique. Yeah, Mystique is so good in so many decks. I knew it was a good card and a very versatile card, but I don't think I realized just how good. Because we've used it in probably 8 out of the 10 decks that we featured after we got it. So we do have the inverted Iron Man here. They're running a destroyer type deck, so the Sandman is not something that's advantageous for us. So on turn 4, I don't think they lock anything down. I think maybe we do a Devil Dino into Grand Central. We can then... Or do we hold that? I think we draw one more time before we start dropping anything into the Gia. And if we drop something, we want it to be our normal. We don't want it to be Mystique. Mystique's not going to be able to trigger in the Gia. And so if we're going to drop something there, we want it to be our inverted Iron Man. And then Adi, I have all of them except for Rogue. And so what is the best way to spin gold, Valter? It depends on what your goals are. Some people like to spend their gold on... variants. I used mine to push credits so we could push the collection log faster. Hey, Akshay. I'll let it read through real fast.
Try this deck. Daredevil, Thief, Killmonger, Rhino, Ghost Rider, Shang-Chi, Enchantress, Warpath, Magic, Gamora, Jessica, Magneto. Focused towards counter-attack and late-game power push.
I'm trying to like think through it and visualize it. I will build it out and look at it after the stream, and I'll give it a shot. And then, are you in the Discord? If so, I'll let you know what I thought after that. So I think we do the sunspot here as well. That's going to kind of future-proof ourselves in the Gia in case they do a Professor X here, and if they do. So we choked a little bit. Last minute we decided to go Arnim Zola in Grand Central. I wasn't paying attention. But if they do a Hobgoblin, they could send Hobgoblin to us in Grand Central. But since they turn first, their Hobgoblin would end up staying on their side of the board before our Arnim Zola triggers. So it was like a last minute rush decision. We could end up getting stuck with a Green Goblin in the Gia, but it's a decision we're going to have to live with. It was a last minute split second thing. And then thank you so much, Akshay, for the $10 super chat. I'll build the list after the stream ends and take a look at it. Well, I guess after work or during my downtime at work anyways.
I am Iron Man.
Oh, and so they have an Angela. Did we think they were running a Destroyer, and it turns out that they are running a Zeus style deck? Oh no, and we do get the the Green Goblin, the 1 out of 3 downside. And then we pull into Sandman, so they're only going to be able to play 1 card this turn. So I think we're okay, right? I think we just pass here. No. Yeah. That was such a bad play, guys. They may have us in Grand Central, but we don't have any way to push any power, no power at all in the miniaturized lab. We have a Mystique and a Rock. Oh, the Arnim Zola play was not it, guys. Well, if we're gonna drop 8 cubes, I want to drop 8 cubes to Jeremiah. So we're gonna go ahead and lock in. We're gonna see if they have it. No, they didn't play anything. They donated to us. Thank you so much, Jeremiah Soul Knife, for the 8 cubes. I appreciate it. We are out here struggling. The cube gains are hard, so you are helping us make sure that we stay positive today. And then Akshay. Okay, perfect. And so I'll test out and I'll let you know what I think once I'm able to run it a little bit. And then yeah, Doma, Todd did generously gift another 20 subs. He popped in like right after the stream started and donated 20. So an absolutely incredible start to the stream. And that's what's propelling us. That and Jeremiah is propelling us to make sure we're positive today. A Soul Knife literally donating the cubes. Yeah, they absolutely had that. I have no doubt in my mind that they would have been able to push one of those lanes. Do you think the PC client would be any different? I think it's going to be easier to set up. So right now the biggest issue we have is that the screen resolution is it's in a rectangle, and so that's why you have to get all of these weird little.
Welcome. It took you long enough.
And then Cyrish, I'm not sure if that was if you purchased that or if that was part of the gifted.
Long enough.
But thank you so much for the support and just being here today. I appreciate you guys so much. But right now we have to create little bitty screens. So here's a little screen, here's a little screen, and they're all different like capture windows. With the PC client, at least it's all going to be one good resolution size. So I think it'll look crisper. And so once they do release that, I think it's going to be a pretty big win for any content creators. Harry, 10 cubes, yeah, definitely largely in part due to Soul Knife. He came in to help us with donating some cubes. We're going to pass. Our Sunspot will absorb the extra energy this turn. And then next turn, unless our Mr. Negative gets hit, we'll drop Mr. Negative. Yeah, Harry, we do have some new emotes. Are any of the emotes ones that you guys don't necessarily care for? Because I can rotate some of those out for some different ones, some maybe like different kind of like common phrases or like a defeat, different sayings from the game. If any of those, like either they're too small or they're just not very beneficial. I know rock is one that gets used a lot. And then 8 cube and retreat is one that's pretty used pretty often. But if you are one of the new members, definitely check out the new emotes as well. I care for the silky smooth hair. Definitely the Spider-Man hair avatar, or the Spider-Woman hair avatar. I won't forget this. Oh my gosh, I've been trying to show this collection for, I think, all week. Every time I say I'm not gonna forget, I do. Oh my gosh, thank you for calling me out on it. I'm not gonna promise that I'm not gonna forget. Maybe change the face without the pirate patch to a different facial expression. Okay, we can do that. And then I'm gonna try my hardest to remember to show the collection after this. So we get an inverted Psylocke, which isn't huge for us, and they're running the bounce deck, and so we do need a pretty big power push. They're gonna have a pretty low hand size after the last turn, unless we do something like a Sandman, which maybe we do. Is that beneficial to us here? We could do Psylocke, we could do Sandman. But that goes into our last turn. And so if they flood the board this turn, then that doesn't help us out. So I think what we're going to do... I think we're going to do our Iron Man in the far right lane. Actually, so going into turn 6, we can have 1 additional energy. So we can have 7, which would be a 4 and a 3. Is it... No. That's still really contingent on if they drop their cards or not. We're going to go with the Iron Man play. He's forgetting, but he's doing 2 things at the same time, playing and answering chat. But that's part of what I really enjoy about streaming, is that with our videos, responding to comments, it takes a while. And so this is much more instantaneous. So we may lose a little bit more than we normally do. But even if we're negative 15, I really enjoy being able to kind of connect with you guys. And just enjoy the stream. So I think the leader is actually our play here. So we have them currently beat in Lemuria. If we drop leader, that's going to push us to 12 power in Nova Roma. They don't have anything that can grow over time unless they have a cheeky like Khazar that they added, which they might have. But I think we go with the leader. Our Sunspot will buff up some, and then we'll copy whatever they play. So I think we feel pretty good about that. I'm not going to push our luck with a snap, but I do feel good enough that we complete the rest of the game. So they have a Doc Ock, which will pull our cards before we pull theirs. Oh, that's kind of rough. That's very rough, actually. So it's all going to come down to what we pull. Oh, wait, no. We got lucky. We don't end up pulling anything with our leader because the Doc Ock filled up our board. Luckily, we pulled into Devil Dino and not something like a Mystique and our Sandman, which would have lost it for us. So we got lucky with the 14 cubes. So it is definitely a positive cube gain day. Yes, both serve their purpose. I love having your videos saved for later to watch. Live is great when you just want to chill and then interact. Yeah, so I like the videos because it's able to be a little bit more direct, succinct, and impactful. And then yeah, we were definitely rolling the dice there, Doma. And then the live streams, I'm able to chat with you guys and just kind of connect with the community a little bit more than our videos can. And so we didn't forget this time. You had to call me out a few times, but we finally remembered. So we're gonna go with the quality, and then we're gonna look at how many commons we have. So many commons, and we have the credits to do it. But in the last update, it takes so long to update our cards that we were just using our credits on the most expensive upgrades we could. And so then each individual one you have to go out, and so I ended up skipping it. And so it would be cool to upgrade them. But we have we have so many boosters that I've just been going for the highest quality and then upgrading what we can. And if you want to see how many splits of Jubilee we have 6. So we have 6 versions of Jubilee here. And then Austin, our yesterday ego battle was epic. It was down to the wire. You ended up pulling it out for the 8 cubes, right? I was committed to either winning or losing, but it was very, very close and back and forth. And so, yep, that is our collection. We have a lot of splits. I'm not sure which one our most split character is. Maybe Jubilee. It may also be the Chavez as well. If you have the 5,000 credits, they should just let you skip to it. That would be amazing if we could just upgrade once and it goes from common to infinite. And if we had the credits to do so and the boosters, that would make it feel a lot less like time consuming. Like right now, to spend 5,000 credits, even not upgrading commons, takes like 30 minutes. Just like clicking through each one. So I usually throw on something on TV and I'm just upgrading as I go. The animations are cool for the first couple of times, but when you're spending 5,000 credits, it does get a little bit repetitive, a little bit rough. So they got to add a feature where you can skip the next the animation next patch. I sure hope that they do. And so we do have both Psylocke and Mr. Negative here, and they have the Hood in Jotunheim, but I'm sure they have a way to destroy it. So we're going to drop our Psylocke here, and then we'll be able to invert our cards next turn with Mr. Negative. Psylocke into Mr. Negative. Yes, absolutely. We always snap off of that. Just because it gives us a pretty good advantage as far as like the information we have at hand at that point. We have the strategic advantage. So a lot more often you can get 2 cubes versus 1, or potentially push it all the way to 4 or even 8 cubes off of it, rather than a late game snap. So they're running a destroyer. Do we go with a Sandman? I think since we don't have our big cards, we don't have our Mystique, our Ronin, our Iron Man, or our Arnim Zola. We have 4 out of 5 really good cards to hit with our, and then we have what, Rogue left? No, we have Mystique. We have a lot of our good cards in there, so I think we're gonna get more upside out of the Mr. Negative and maybe not the Sandman this game. Destroy decks don't typically run too terribly much until like the last turn, where they usually will do like a wave, and then they can drop two cards. Will you ever stream Sulky Hulky? Yeah, if you guys want to see a Sulky Hulky stream, I'll absolutely stream it. I'm actually working on the next update video for tomorrow, so after I get off, I'm going to do some recording on that. I think it's going to be tomorrow, either tomorrow or Sunday, one of the two. We're going to get the next Sulky Hulky update. And it's a card that I'm excited about. It's one we already have, and so they go with we get Adam Warlock. They get a nice big Sarah. That is a rough expansion, guys. And so let's see, how do we win this? Devil Dino's decent. We could steal their Sarah with our Rogue, which will allow us to flood more cards onto the board, but I don't know that that's a big power push either, or that we necessarily need the discount. And we have Arnim Zola, or else I would use Jubilee to pull into one of our cards. Maybe we play it by ear. Maybe we can. Ooh, that's so low power in this lane, in the expansion lane. I don't know that it's worth it. I think it may be more beneficial to do Devil Dino mid. This may end up being a retreat game, but right now we don't have anything to lose from at least pushing it for the next couple of turns, unless they snap back. If they snap back, then we definitely jump out. Jane Foster relies on Mr. Negative too much, I think. It depends on. I upgrade while watching your videos. I mean that's not a bad way to do it, Revarc. And then Doma. I think you're right that it does rely on it, but it depends on your build. And so like on our build of the negative Thor, I really liked that Jane Foster had 2 potential targets. So even if you didn't draw into Mr. Negative, if you had Thor. Hey, Silver Fox, thank you so much. I hope you're having a great day so far. I'm glad that you're enjoying the content, and I'm glad you were able to jump in and join us live. And then, hey, Major Mango, how's it going? So we have our Iron Man. We have some pretty big power pushes here. Do we do the inverted Iron Man here?
Opponent snapped.
That would take away the potential for an Arnim Zola play, though. I don't know what they have. I don't have a good read on what they have in hand. But I think we're going to do the inverted Iron Man, the inverted Mystique, and then we wait and see. We're going to be down to 1 card next turn, so we'll be able to guarantee what Jubilee pulls into. And this doesn't look like a game where we go with... This doesn't look like a game where we... Oh, actually... Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if we should have dropped Sandman there or not, because if they wave, then Sandman could have limited them to just doing 1. Jubilee left.
I am Iron Man.
With Thor, it's good, but in this one, it relies a lot on Negative Man. Yeah, so if it's one without Thor, then it absolutely relies on getting Mr. Negative and having the Mighty Thor in hand before you invert your cards. Leader into the Destroyer. That's the play. That is absolutely the play. We do get the inverted Arnim Zola. What do we... Oh, we don't have anything left in our deck because of our Iron Man. So I think what we do is just drop the Ronan. We let Sunspot buff up further. We let this lane get elevated quite a bit. I don't think they can pull it out. This will reduce our power here by 4, which isn't huge. I don't think they have any way to buff up their X-Mansion. I think we get a good 8 cube here. So we are going to lock that in. If we get an 8 cube, then it is within range for us to get the positive 30 today from today's stream. So let's see if they play it out. Hey Jose, big fan of your big fan and love your content. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you were able to jump in and join us for our lunch live stream, and I'm so glad that you're enjoying the content. We put a lot of time into it, and so it really helps keep me motivated that people and the reception of it is so positive. And so they go Destroyer right, which is not going to be able to come up over the Nova Roma power. It's just a little bit too much with the double Iron Man, just not something that they're able to do. And then the Ronin coming in pretty clutch as a secondary Devil Dino to really push our power level up over. What if there was a Mystique with an Iron Man, with an Iron Man face? So like transpose it on there. I'm not the best at Photoshop, but I could give it a shot. And so that was Grumpy. I know that they at least watch our videos, because one of them that they were featured in, they watched the videos. I hope that they didn't just donate 8 cubes to donate 8 cubes. We'll take them where we can get them, but I do want to make sure that they're good matchups as well. And so thoughts on cards that may see a nerf next patch. I don't know. I know Sarah is a huge enabler for Zoo style decks right now. And so, hey, 543 Gaming. This is the first time I saw a chat come through, but thank you so much for jumping in and joining us today. I did finally get into the reserves and got a Yellow Jacket variant. Nice. I wish that Yellow Jacket had some better uses right now. Maybe at some point Yellow Jacket will have a good use. I lost all train of thought. Cards that need nerfed. Sorry, guys. It is Friday. We've had a long week. I appreciate you guys jumping in and joining us for the stream for the week. But cards that need a nerf. Daddy Gaming. Oh yeah. It's been a week, guys. So we're gonna snap. We have Psylocke into Mr. Negative before our card shuffle, so we're gonna get the inverted cards back in. Cards that need nerfed. I know Sarah is a big enabler, but I don't know how they would necessarily nerf it. You can't really nerf a card that reduces cards cost by 1 to a 6 cost card, and limiting it on the number of cards it can impact seems weird as well. So maybe dropping the power level a bit, but it still feels like the biggest enabler for Zoo style decks is Sarah. So I think she's probably on the chopping block. Maybe even in some way, shape, or form, Mr. Negative, but I don't know how they would strategically do that either. So it turns out we didn't need to ramp, but we are still okay with our ramp. We're gonna play Mr. Negative into New York. Actually, we'll play it into the middle location, and then we are going to shuffle our cards into our deck and then pull out our inverted cards after this turn. It'd be really cool, but it would be hard to pull off. The only thing I can think of is opponent plays a goblin on you and you yellow jacket and send it back with Odin. I mean, that would be cool. I think it would be inconsistent, but it would be really cool whenever it worked. It'd be one of those that when it works really well type of deals. So I think we go with our Ronan here. Our Ronan and then maybe a Jubilee to try and pull into Sandman. We want to try to, with Elysium, we want to try to limit the number of cards they can play because we are already low on cards. If we can, actually, no, with the card shuffle, I don't think we really get any upside from Sandman here either. So both our Ronan and Devil Dino are going to be little bitty this game. We just have to hope that we get something a little bit better than what they flip into. Two other things. Did you see the Galactus deck that Binks did? No, I haven't seen it. I would imagine it'd be that leech pool was phenomenal. So now our leader is useless. We do have a 0 cost 4-power Devil Dino. Because it's a free 4-power. Yeah, we probably should have, but now we're stuck with a 4-power Devil Dino. So I think we play our Iron Man here just in case we draw into Mystique, and so we can play our Iron Man either. I think we play it into Elysium. We can adjust our cards next turn if we need to. But no, I didn't see the Galactics deck that Binks did.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then, hey, Hydra King. I'm not sure if that was part of the gifted or if you bought into
hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
Or if you bought into the membership. And same thing with you, Paulo. But thank you guys so much for being here and supporting the channel. Shared a link with you in Discord. Perfect, 543. Thank you so much. We'll check it out. And so we do have the Iron Man. So it's kind of tricky. If they move their Iron Man and we don't move ours, we lose. Yeah, the leader play to steal our Iron Man was huge. So we can move Iron Man, and then if they don't move theirs, we lose this lane though. Was gifted a membership sub. Okay, perfect. Either way, thank you so much for being here and just enjoying the content. So I think our only way to win, because if we do that and they don't move their Iron Man, then we end up losing this lane. I think our only way to win is if they don't move it and we Mystique our Iron Man. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's even good, but we're gonna let it play out anyways. It really comes down to where back decides to, whether they decide to move their card or not. Let's go ahead and lock it in. It's our only shot. Ooh, so they don't move the Iron Man. That's good. The Jubilee pool, it's not gonna be enough, I don't think. Even if it goes wide, our Sunspot is gonna buff up. Oh my gosh. Do we pull this one out? It is a very positive stream today, guys. We have been very, very fortunate with the matchups. Just oh my gosh, this one could have easily went either way. But oh man,
Victory.
the deck list is definitely popping off today. So we are at a positive 26 today. We have almost mitigated our losses from the last 2 days. If we can get 4 more before the stream ends, then we will have went double positive. We would have doubled what we lost yesterday. We would have made up and went flat for the last 2 days. Holy moly, that's a lot of cubes this game. Yeah, Paul Box, man, we've been having an incredible lucky streak. It started off with Todd English donating 20 more, or gifting 20 more subs, and I think that just ricocheted the positivity out into our games. It has been phenomenal, Paul. 543, do you also read comics? So I didn't really read them before getting into Marvel Snap, but I have subscribed to their comic book service, and I'm working my way through a few now. And so one that I'm looking into, or I guess a character more that I'm looking into their comics, is Gambit. So I don't know why. He uses cards with his powers to make explosions. We play a card game. I don't know. It was a very thin link, but I thought it was cool nonetheless. And so I've been reading some of his like origin story type books, and then working through some of like the heavy hitters as well. So I have a whole list that we're working through. So I think we're going to play our Psylocke here, even though we don't have our Mr. Negative, our Sandman. We don't have any of our 4-cost cards, but we have 5 4-cost cards in the deck list. And so odds are we have 5 out of 7 chances to draw into one of them next turn. Glad to see I'm not the only one stuck in the mid-80s. Yeah, Joseph, we've been pretty stuck for most of the season. We top deck the 4-drop. The Mr. Negative Dream we top deck. Guys, this is meant to be. We are meant to get our 30 cubes. Let's go ahead and snap. See if we can get it to push up to the 4 cube at least, so that we can get back to the 30. And then we are getting close to an hour pre-recorded stream. So we've been trying this this is like our 10th attempt. You caught us, Double Pope. So definitely a top deck. Oh my gosh. And so, yeah, we snap off of that. Luckily, we had initiative, so our Mr. Negative did go off. Otherwise, that could have put a damper on our plans. And that's a pretty cool I haven't seen that Cosmo variant. That 8-bit one looks pretty sleek. And so now we have our inverted Devil Dino. I think we drop him this turn, but I don't think we drop our Mystique yet. I don't want to cap out Asgard. I just want it high enough. Actually, no, we couldn't drop Mystique here either. Anyways, it looks so derpy to me. I don't know why. I'm a fan of the 8 cubes. It's not because they look like great. I just think they look unique. And so yeah, he may look a little bit derpy. I think his head or his neck is a little bit looks like it's a little bit too far down. You took Asgard and get more goodies. Yeah, we get more inverted goodies here with the Devil Dino. I don't think there's a way that they can come up over the, what is that going to be, another 12 power here? I don't think there's a way that they can do it. Well, I guess they could drop Shang-Chi if they like really, really trusted that we were going to drop a Devil Dino. They could drop it. No, never mind. Cosmo would stop Shang-Chi from going off. They couldn't do that. Never mind. Who's the goodest of boys, Cosmo or Lockjaw? I like Lockjaw a little bit better. If you have time, Comic Storian's channel is great. Does he do like kind of origin stories or character videos? Revarc. I like Lockjaw a little bit better, but Cosmo is like the protector. Lockjaw is just kind of chaotic, and I don't know their like comic book like roots or origins. I'm not familiar with either one. But as far as like the game, Cosmo like protects your hand. He's going to really do more to be the goodest of boys rather than Lockjaw just throwing your stuff and causing randomness. I also recommend Comics Explained. Perfect. I will jot those. I'll jot both of those down. Because I am wanting to, reading through them takes quite a bit of time, but I'm wanting to expand my MCU knowledge, because right now it's really limited to the cinematic universe. if you see a negative on turn 4 with my deck, if I see on turn 4, yeah, definitely. Most games, if you see negative on turn 3 especially, it's really hard to come back over that. So do we drop our Sandman here? Before we ended up running out of time, do we drop our Sandman to limit the amount of space that they have to play in? Leader Sandman? So leader Sandman here, right? Because that would, even if they drop a card here, we'll duplicate it here. If they drop their cards in Clintar, I think as far as the placement, either that or we could even go leader over here if we needed to, depending on where we think the real Mysterio is. And then which one of your pets is more the Cosmo and which one is more Lockjaw? One that you guys haven't seen on stream, she's really lazy. It's Juliet. She's the most like lovable kind of like protector dog. She's really gentle, but if she needs to, she will stand up for us. And so I would think, at least in my knowledge of Cosmo and Lockjaw, I would relate her more to Cosmo. And then Lockjaw is definitely Clarice. She is full of chaos, and that chaotic energy is all over the place. And so we go to up to 28 cubes. Do we try to push for the 30 cubes? We're right at an hour. Do we try to push for 30 cubes for the stream, or do we call it close? We're way up there already. Deny their swarm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Deny their swarm. They end up retreating. And then go for it. Okay. So it looks like we're going for 30 real quick. This is what got us last time. We were +1 and we said, or we were 0. We said we don't want to end neutral, and then we went -15 over the next like 20 minutes. So either way, this is one more game. Win or lose, we have to, unless it feels terrible. Win or lose, this is it. So that means we are going to snap right off the bat so that it is at least 2 cubes. That way, if we win, we guarantee we get the 2, and we don't end on 29. Worst case scenario, we end on with an even 20. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. We're still positive for the day, no matter how this one turns out. And I am a little bit afraid because we don't have our Mr. Negative. Ooh, and they're running a Patriot deck. If we can hit their token or their Patriot with a Rogue before they have a chance to Mystique, we could potentially get some decent upside here. So we're going to go ahead and go with Sunspot into Asgard. We want to try and draw more cards and restrict them from drawing theirs. And so they use a Brood to win Baxter Building, which gives them 3 power, a 3 power push. Ooh, guys, we may not win. We may not win the Asgard push. Do we go Ronan or do we do a Jubilee? Jubilee would give us a shot to draw into Mr. Negative. And we have Ronan, Rogue, or we have Arnim Zola, Rogue, and Mystique in our hand, and even Leader. So our bad plays are out of the way. I guess Psylocke would be the worst. So Patriot, Onslaught, Mystique. Yeah, it's a rough hand. It's a rough hand. Do we go with the Jubilee, which could shoot us in the foot with a Sandman or a Ronan? Which would probably end up being an 8 power card. We're gonna trust in RNGesus. Here we go. We're gonna let that one roll out. So they had 6 power. Our 8 wouldn't have been enough to come up over it. What do we get? Devil Dino. Which does that tie it for it? No, it gives us the win. This is meant to be, guys. This 30 cube win is meant to be. We still don't have our Mr. Negative, which is kind of sad, but we can't do a Mystique off of the. Oh no, Doma. Okay, I'm gonna have to loosen up the Nightbots. He's a little bit too strict. Finish him, fatality. So, how do we finish here? We could do a Ronan. We could do Sandman, which stops them from dropping too many cards. But I think we want to compete for Baxter building at the very least. Harry, I don't know, but I got hyped. You got to Arnhem your rogue to kill their Patriot Mystique. That way we kill it in both lanes. I think we're going to do Ronan. Next turn, we will see if they have their Patriot on the board. So they have Abomination in Baxter building. Interesting. So I don't think Leader is a good play here. Because if we do Leader and they do a Patriot, we don't get the same buff out of it that they do. So is it more beneficial for us to do an Arnhem Zola? Yeah, Jock, that may have been the play. Sandman prevents the double Patriot on the last turn. But it's a really low power tempo push. And so I think it would have been difficult to pull off either way. So we could do Arnhem Zola to push the Ronin. But I think if they do 2 cards, if they do the Patriot Mystique, that brings them down to 3. So they would only be 6 power each, which doesn't... Where do we think they're gonna... Where do we think he's gonna play it? Or do we think he splits it? I don't know that this is the perfect play either. You think we Arnhem Zola? Some more power mid, but it pushes 6 here. So if they, I guess if they do the Patriot Mystique here, and they're just relying on the 3 power that wins here, then our 6 is enough. 11 power lets more. We're going to go with it. We're going to let the RNG take the wheel. You didn't disappoint us last time, Doma. There's the Patriot, and then the Mystique coming in at 0 power. Okay, yeah. So we're going to push our Arnhem Zola, even though he's 6. We win in Monster... Doma, I think you just won us the game. Yeah, I think you just won us the game. We push it over. Since they did go with the Patriot Mystique play line, we were able to push over that 30 cube barrier. We were positive 32 for the day, guys. I feel like you guys helped that one out. You guys helped us win that one. That one was all of our victory. I wish I could share those cubes with you guys. Oh no, Nightbot, stop blocking people. We're gonna reduce that. We're gonna reduce that right after this. Silver Fox, yeah, positive 32 for the stream today, guys. We definitely made up. So next goal was 50 cubes. Now we have a record to beat. We have a record to beat for our next stream. The positive 32 is nuts over the course of looks like an hour and 10 minutes. Now lose a 2 cube game real quick. Yeah, the Nightbot is definitely too strict. I'm going to reduce it. It's the default settings. And so, yeah, I'm going to reduce it after this. But thank you guys so much for jumping in and joining us. Thank you again, Akshay, for the $10 super chat, and Todd for the 20 more gifted subs. Your generosity, all of your generosity is so very much appreciated. It helps keep us motivated to keep up the daily content and just keep pushing into the content creation. So I appreciate you guys so much. And all of you viewers just joining in to watch us for the lunch live stream, I appreciate you guys as well. And so thank you guys so much for jumping in and joining us. We are going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. We are going to have videos over the weekend, but we're not going to have any live streams. We will be back again on Monday. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. This has been TLSG. Later, guys.